the a-hole for kicking my wife out after she punched my mom in the face? My situation went from bad to worse in a matter of a week, and I don't know where else to turn. I need to know if I was wrong, possibly a validation thing. My wife and I have been together for 8 years, and she just gave birth to our first and last baby 2 months ago. Up until my wife got pregnant, my mom loved her. I'm not sure what the F is wrong with my mom or why this switch happened, but after my wife got pregnant, my mom started being very clingy to me and started avoiding my wife at all costs. Told everyone she wasn't excited about the pregnancy, etc. I threatened to go no contact with her when my wife was about 7 months along, and after that, she snapped out of it for the most part and stopped being so ignorant. The comments were 100% stopped at least, though she still was clinging to me. Now, a week ago, my mom, my sister's husband, and my sister's daughter, 12, came over for dinner. I prepared the meal. Before my wife could eat anything, our daughter got fussy, so my wife excused herself to go feed the baby and get her down to sleep. I thought I prepared enough, but apparently not, because my niece was still starving. She's 5'5" and 190 pounds. I haven't seen her in a year, and she was not that size then, so I didn't exactly portion an extra 3 helpings for a child, so it's on me. I apologized and told her that I hadn't made any more and offered her crackers as I was putting my wife's portion in the fridge. After that, I just went outside with my sister's husband to smoke a cigarette and shoot the breeze. Didn't think any of it, but then I hear yelling from inside. When I walk in, my wife and my mom were screaming at each other. Apparently, my mom, who saw me put my wife's food away, gave my niece my wife's portion of food. As I was walking inside, I heard my mom say, "Looks like you can afford to skip a meal," and slapped my wife's stomach. Right as soon as I get ready to step in, literally fast walking towards them, yelling enough, my wife runs back and punches my mother square in the face and drops her. The whole house went silent outside of my mom crying and holding her face. I tell everyone to get the F out. Immediately, everyone leaves, and my wife just turns towards the counter and leans with her hands on the counter and face down, eyes closed. I looked at my wife and said, "You too, leave now." She says, "Really?" She's crying at this point. I say a clipped up, "Yep." She packs up her and the baby and leaves. I text her that night and say I just need space. I need to decompress and come to terms with what just happened. She doesn't respond. The next 5 days, I'm texting and calling. I get nothing. She shows up here today, so 8 days later, and hands me divorce paperwork and my baby and says, "Here, you have a bit to hang out with her while I pack. Where I'm breastfeeding, we can work at a visitation schedule that is either at your place or my mother's until she will take a bottle." I told her that's not what I want. I don't want to separate. I just needed time to process her punching my mother in the face. She said, "You needing time to process gave me time to process the fact that I refuse to be in this situation any longer." I defended myself. I initially felt bad and remorseful, but you making me leave when I needed you made me seem more clear. I'm done. I'm sorry for what I did, but there's no fixing this. She refused to speak to me at all for the rest of the time she was here. My house feels so empty and I don't know what to do. Am I the a-hole for making her leave after she punched my mom? I just need some space. I mean, now look at it this way. You have all the space you wanted and more, so I hope you enjoy all the space. Am I the a-hole for calling my ex-wife out for preferring her daughter over our sons? My ex-wife and I have been divorced, and she had an 11-year-old daughter. We have a 15 and 17-year-old together and split custody. It's obvious that their mom prefers their half-sister over them. She does things one-on-one with the girl. She buys expensive gifts for her. She lets her have friends over. I called her out on it, and she defended herself, and she said she loved her children equally. She spent more time with her youngest because she was younger and because she was interested in her mom's hobbies. My ex-wife never adjusted well to an all-boy household, and that was a major reason for our divorce. I can't help but think that she's continued to have that issue. She and her husband refuse to talk about the issue and now only talk about custody time. Edit 1. Both of my boys are in sports. Their friends' moms are very invested in them. Meanwhile, my ex-wife goes to 1 or 2 games if they ask her to go. She wouldn't go to a game if they didn't ask, but she never misses her daughter's events. She doesn't spend one-on-one time with the boys. She likes dropping them off to hang out with friends. She doesn't help them with school, even though she could easily do so. She got them a tutor, but she spends time teaching her daughter, who's already ahead in school and doesn't need extra help. The boys have noticed, and I can tell they wish their mom was more like their friends' moms, even if she's technically what teenage boys want in a mom, to not bug them about things and let them hang out with friends. I never really understood people for both men and women, people who have kids and then like they expect the children to be all their kids to be exactly like them, all the kids to like exactly what the parents like. That's like men who have daughters and they're like, I don't want a daughter because who's gonna play sports with me? Like, oh my god, you guys are so weird. When you have children, you have to expect all these people. Your children are human beings. They're going to grow up to be adults or whatever the hell they're going to grow up to be. They have their individuals. They have their own lives, their own wants, and their own hobbies and their own needs. If you can't be there to support each one of them equally, then don't have them. Like, what the hell? Am I the a-hole for basically making my sister homeless? I am 24 male and my sister is 22 female. I'll call her Lily. And until about a year or two ago, we got along pretty well. Among my six siblings, I was definitely the closest to her growing up, but around late 2022, she started to change. For context, my family are Mormons, but I left the religion and also came out as gay around the age of 18, 19. This has served as a point of contention for my family, but my sister was still supportive of me and really liked seeing my boyfriend. I'll call him David too. Anyway, around late 2022, she seemed less and less supportive of me in my life. She continuously expressed her concerns about my relationship, such as how he is Asian and I'm not. If I had to guess, it probably is my parents enforcing their views on her, and that really hurt me. She left for a Mormon missionary in February 2023, and by email, she continued to criticize me and my relationship, and by around June, I had finally had enough and blocked her emails. That was the last I heard of her. I got a phone call from Lily at around 11 p.m. last night where she informed of how she's been sent home early due to mental health issues, and her parents got really angry at her and kicked her out of the house. And so she called me, asking if I'd be willing to let her stay at my place, and my answer was no. The thing is, I am already looking after our younger sister, 20 female, after she expressed desire to leave the church and came out to me as a lesbian, and my apartment is just not big enough for 4 people. We have 2 bedrooms, and David, now husband, and I sleep in separate rooms, and my 20 female sister sleeps on the sofa, so Lily would likely have to sleep on a sleeping bag. Not only that, but given that bigotry my sister has shown, David isn't a fan of her. It just isn't fair on him to have to deal with her, and it's his home too. I tried to not let my inner doormat win, and I told Lily that I am sorry, but I'm not able to let her stay due to the above reasons. She was really upset with me and screamed now that she'll be homeless. Needless to say, I didn't sleep well last night, and so here I am to say if I am really the a-hole or not. I don't think he's the a-hole at all, because I feel like if you have a family member who's in supporting of whatever decision that you make in life, why would you want to be around them? And on top of that, if she want to be like her parents, just let her stay with her parents.